I'm going to show you in this video 7 situations where we draw people in perspective, and you could also draw objects in perspective using these methods. So once you get through the end of this video, you should be able to put anything anywhere. And it's all in my book, Ellen's Guide to Perspective, on Amazon. I'm going to quickly review the main characteristics of the 2 viewpoints we'll be discussing, the eye-level viewpoint and the bird's eye view. With the eye-level viewpoint, the converging lines are wide. The eyes of the figure lie on eye level, so the main way we know which one is closer is which one is bigger and which is lower on the page. For the bird's eye view, the converging lines are narrower. The eyes of the figures don't lie on eye level, and the closer one is bigger and much lower. These figures are the same size because they lie within the same converging lines. So they're about 5.5 feet tall. And their eyes are a little higher than eye level, indicating that they're taller than the viewer. Now this pink person will be the same size as the yellow one because the heads and the feet line up. And the blue one is going to be as big as the green one because if the green one weren't standing on the bureau, she would be right here. So she would be in line with the feet of the blue person. To understand why these figures are divided up proportionately, I reduce them to these blue vertical lines, and since they're within the same converging lines, they must be the same size. This can be further simplified into these 2 triangles where the green one is within the yellow one. So they have the same angles, and so they have the same proportions. In other words, their height to width ratio is the same. And eye level here crosses over about 1/4 up this green line and also 1/4 up this yellow line. Now, another way to look at it is you could find out how many heads above the horizon is the figure's head. And in this case, the figure is 2 heads above eye level. And even when she's much smaller, she's 2 heads above eye level. Here's another way to put people in perspective. And this is a bird's eye view. We're looking down at these figures. All the figures are the same height and the ground is level. So choose one of the figures and find out the distance between his ratio compared to the total distance. So you can see that he takes up about 3/4 of the whole line down to his feet. And so if we look at another one here, we can see that his height is also 3/4 of the line between his feet and eye level. And this helps us even more. For example, 1/4 up is just above the knees, and over here 1/4 up is just above the knees. And here the elbows kind of match the halfway mark, and here again they match the halfway mark. To find the size of figures distributed around a room, draw converging lines to the wall so that these vertical lines are the same size. In the second case, the red rectangle and the green one are the same size because they're on the same converging lines. And so if you want to find the size of the blue one, it's the same as the green one. You just lift it up so it's on top of the box. This is a bird's eye view of some people on the ground and some people on a hill. How can we make these 2 sizes agree with each other? Well, these figures converge toward a vanishing point on eye level, while these figures converge toward the uphill vanishing point. And as long as these 2 vanishing points have a vertical relationship with each other, the sizes of the 2 groups of people will agree with each other. Do you think all these figures are to scale? Well, you need to start with one set of converging lines, which they've already given us here. And that's all you need. And then you try to relate all the other figures to those converging lines. So the man in front is easy. We can just move him over here, and he remains the same height. And then we just lift him up this amount, and he would be as tall as this guy. Now, the guy in the hole here, we can move him horizontally, then vertically, and horizontally. We can do that without changing his size. And then when we put him in the converging lines, he fits within the converging lines. So he is the same size as this guy in the front. The guy over here, all we have to do is move him over to the converging lines, and he fits right in, again, the same size as everyone else. This problem is a little more complicated because the figures are different heights and they aren't on the same level ground. So I set up a scale from 0 to 6 feet and drew converging lines to any vanishing point on eye level. Then let's look at this man who's 6 feet tall and draw lines from the top of his head and from the bottom of his feet. And you can see that he fits perfectly into these converging lines. So he is, in fact, 6 feet tall. Now, this woman is 4 feet 9 inches tall, and she's in a hole, or she's lower than the man. So we need to get her up to level ground, going horizontally, vertically, and then horizontally until we hit the converging lines. And then we go up to the 4 foot 9 inch line. And so she is as tall as this distance. This is a complicated picture because there are people nearby and far away, as well as those very high and those very low. So you need to choose one of these stairs as the ground, and I chose this one. The stairs have to have equal widths, and they have to converge toward the same vanishing point. And then you will have a vertical line here and a diagonal measuring line, which you can make any angle you want. Then what you do is you find the bases of all the figures and bring those bases down to the ground. So this black guy up here, I'm going vertically down, then horizontal, vertical, horizontal. You can go horizontal and vertical as many times as you want. It doesn't change his size. And then once you get to the ground, then you go over here, and this bracket is as long as he is. So another example would be this magenta lady. How tall is she? Well, we bring her bottom down, and it goes down here and then over in this direction. And this bracketed area is how big this magenta lady would be. And the green lady here, when we get her line up to the ground, we see that the green lady would be this long, and so on. So check out my book on Amazon, and please remember to subscribe.